Here there be dragons. Well, this is technically a fire lizard and really heavy, so let's get her off of there. Hi, and happy Smaugust. If you're not familiar with Smaugust, it's an art challenge during the month of August where artists try and focus on dragons. I have always loved dragons, and I have the receipts to prove it. This is an interview book about me from 2nd grade, and if we flip to the last page here, it says, "She wishes dragons were alive. She wants to ride a dragon." Not much has changed. I was working all July on dragon mugs and sculptures so that I could have lots of kiln loads of dragons for August. So let's open up this first one and check it out. Okay, so right at the top we have fairy pots and pocket dragons. I've been making these for a few months now. They are tiny little sleeping dragons that you can throw in your pouch or purse or keep on your desk. I sculpted the original and made a mold of them, but they all still turn out a little different. Different eyes, different curve of the tail. So each one is still one of a kind. I have a bunch of red ones here because that was a color I was working with, but I probably won't make much more because surprisingly, red is always one of the last colors to sell for dragons. To me, red is like the quintessential dragon color. So I'd be really interested to hear from you what color you think of first when you think of dragons. If you watched my last kiln unloading video, you know that I love using fairy pots to take up unused space in the kiln, and these top shelves are a great place to do it. I'm working hard to stock up for the New York Renaissance Fair, so I'm doing big bulk batches of colors to make sure that I have enough of all of them to start off the fair on August 27th. Now that those are off, we can uncover to the main level of the kiln, which we can see is filled with dragon mugs. I have a few different versions of dragon mugs, the first being the solid color mugs. It's still a hand sculpted dragon on the handle, and each of their wings are different, tails curve differently. But these solid color mugs are dipped in a single glaze so that it's all the same color. My next version of a dragon mug is a painted dragon, where before the bisque firing, I will use what's called an underglaze to paint just the dragon. This one even has its eyes painted with pupils. And then the whole mug is dipped in a clear glaze, so that's the natural color clay that you see on the mug, and the hand-painted dragon. The last version is also hand-painted, but it takes a little extra time and comes in a gradient. So here we have a nice white to black gradient, and I hand mix all the gradients so that they blend, and that is the top tier dragon mug. These are all going to be available at my booth at the New York Renaissance Fair, though I might sneak a couple of them online. If you want to make sure not to miss them, be signed up for the email list. And if you want to vote on when they'll become available, I let my Patreons tell me when restocks should be. If this mug looked like a familiar color scheme to you, it's because I based it off of my fire lizard. These are from the Dragon Riders of Pern series by Anne McCaffrey, which my dad introduced to me before I could even read, and what started my obsession with dragons. Gold dragons are the egg-laying dragons, and I just wanted to pay a little homage to that book series. Okay, as we go into the bottom level, I just remembered what else is in this kiln load, and I am so excited. It's gonna be under this one. I have some new Patreon mugs. If you saw my last video, you saw the first of the Patreon mugs, and these are the next two. All the colors requested by the Patreons themselves. I'm so excited to send these off. And this one's going to be on display in my booth at the New York Renaissance Fair so everyone can see what awesome stuff you can get by becoming a Patreon. If you're interested, there is a link in the description of this video. So down in here, we have a few more dragon mugs. Does the coloration on this one make you think of anyone in particular? I first started making dragon mugs in 2016, and they looked a lot different then than they do now. It's been so awesome to see the design grow and develop. When I was first starting out as a potter, I thought that I needed to make really basic stuff in order for people to want to buy it. And my dragon mugs were the first time that I was really making what I wanted to. And then they quickly turned out to be my most popular item and my bread and butter today. So that just goes to show that you shouldn't be afraid to try making what you love, because if you love it, there's probably people out there that would love it too. I'm so glad I had these fairy pots to take up all this space that wouldn't fit any more dragon mugs. Okay, now that you've seen what's come out of the kiln, do you want to see a sneak peek at some of the new stuff going into the kiln? So I carved myself a sign for my booth at the New York Renaissance Fair, and it's all dry now, which means it is pretty fragile. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put this in here. I was thinking about sliding it off, but now that I see the space I have, I think I'm going to take the shelf out first and slide it onto the shelf, then put the shelf back in. If the shelf wasn't so heavy, I would do the cake plate flip on it, but I think it might crush the piece. So let's get this on film in case it's a complete disaster. I'm gonna try sort of just shimmying this out from underneath. Mistakes were definitely made. The clay is sliding easily off of the bat, but the bat is not sliding easily off of the shelf. Oh, I hate that sound. Support it, support it, support it. Okay, last little bit to go. Do not crack, please. Success. Let's all say a prayer to the kiln gods for me, okay? Oh, that makes it so much heavier. Do the side with the thermocouple first. Spin, spin, spin. And can anyone guess how I'm going to fill those extra spaces left around the sign? That's right, everyone's favorite fairy pots. I have to make sure the ones that go on this side are short enough that they can fit under the height of these kiln shelves. The other side is higher for airflow, and most of the fairy pots will definitely be able to go under them. So of course I'm going to have some dragon mugs in this firing, but the other new thing that I'm really excited about is this relief dragon. Might look a bit funky right now, weird shaped, but what I'm actually going to do is after this is fired, I'm going to make a plaster mold out of it so that I have a push mold of a flat dragon that I can wrap around mugs with regular handles. So instead of a dragon mug like this with a dragon as the handle, it'll have a regular handle with a dragon like this wrapped around the side. Pretty cool. So if you want to see if my sign survives the firing, or you want to check out how the new dragon mug design goes, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get notified of the next video. Don't forget to let me know your favorite color dragon, and as always, thank you to my patrons for producing this video. Bye.